What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a little bit of a look at, well, an update for Disney Lorcana. Now, it's been a little bit frustrating, honestly, with Disney Lorcana. I'm going to be honest with you. They announced this amazing new game, and I do think it's going to be really good. I am so hopeful for Disney Lorcana, and I don't know. Nobody knows if it's going to be good or not. All we can do at this stage is kind of hope, but I'm really hopeful it's going to be a really good game, and I'm kind of all in on it, honestly. But information has been, well, let's say hard to come by. We have a vague release date of fall 2023, which doesn't tell us a huge amount. But we do know that it's based on the Disney license, and we do know that it's made by Ravensburger. And although they've not really done a TCG before, as far as I'm aware, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that, they do have a history of making very cool tabletop games, and also puzzles. Between myself and my children, we got like 4 Ravensburger puzzles for Christmas, which was really kind of awesome. But we didn't get any Disney Lorcana, and we were never going to in 2022. Christmas 2023, oh, you gotta believe it's going to be coming out for Christmas 2023. The only thing I can tell you in terms of a release date is it will be out by mid-November. And the reason I can say that with absolute certainty is, and I've mentioned this for a bunch of other card games in the past, that Christmas period, the second half of November and the first 3 weeks of December, that is absolutely crucial for Christmas shopping. So if you're launching something like a trading card game, you have to release it by the middle of November, or else you're just missing out on Christmas shopping time, and that's just silly. So we know that, and we've seen a few cards. We saw the promo Mickey Mouse at D23. That was a lovely promo. And then we also saw a set of 6 collector cards featuring Stitch, Elsa, Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, Robin Hood, and Captain Hook, all of which it has previously, remember, been confirmed that they will be available in the first set. They just won't have the first edition stamp and all of that. So they'll be slightly different, i.e. the collector versions will still be limited collector versions, but in terms of playability, that's a pretty good thing. So what's happened and what do we actually know? Well, Disney Lorcana did go and tweet out this, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that makes me a little bit happy. As essentially, their resolutions are to tell us more about Disney Lorcana, which is good, because I want to know more about Disney Lorcana. Have they actually told us anything new yet? Yeah. More, I think, than a lot of people are expecting. Now, for me, one of the coolest reveals they actually did was this. It's the back of the card. And I know that's a little thing for a lot of people, but actually, I kind of like this. This makes it seem real, like the game is going to be coming out in the not too distant future. And for what it's worth, it does look kind of cool as a card back. Of course, we're all just going to be sleeving our cards. Like, that's kind of how it works. But also, every card game, there's just a rule where you have to release a set of sleeves that look like the back of the card. Here's an example for the Pokemon TCG. They're the original card backs in Japanese. So you know what? Yeah, they're going to release sleeves which are just this card back. So here's a nice little sneak peek at the sleeves. Are the back of the cards going to be holographic? Almost certainly not. That would massively raise the price, and we're going to be sleeving our cards anyway. So who really cares? Honestly? So no, I'm willing to believe they're not going to be. But might we get holo sleeves featuring this pattern? That's a maybe, ladies and gentlemen. That's a maybe. Also, shout out to the Disney team, the Lorcana team, who basically only answer tweets using GIFs of Disney characters. I mean, they answer with words sometimes, but all their GIFs are Disney GIFs, and it's just the business teacher in me is kind of proud of them for always staying on brand. I asked, hey, is this the back of the card like it looks? There's a Bambi GIF. Lovely. But there is actually some other stuff that they've let slip as well. So, for instance, Tommy Lessencrafter did ask on one of their tweets, are you planning on running sanctioned tournaments and organised play? And this is a kind of question that could have just been ignored, but it wasn't. They answered very definitively, we will have a robust organised play program. We will release more information about it in the future, so stay tuned. And this is actually really big. Because one of my worries about Lorcana, one of my concerns, and if you're a player like myself rather than just a collector, you've had this concern as well. Oh, those cards look cool. Oh, what if it just turns into kind of a, you can play casually at home, but really it's just here for collecting? I've had that concern, and I'm willing to bet the majority of you have as well. Are they actually going to bother with organised play? Because remember that the Transformers trading card game didn't really. When that launched, there was no organised play. And then they did a few tournaments here and there, but there wasn't really that much, and it really was kind of the occasional tournaments. There was never just a big, hey, this is what we're doing. And then, the game kind of died. And there were many problems with the Transformers trading card game. And let's be clear, I love the Transformers TCG. I covered it from the day it was announced to the day they announced it was going. I love the Transformers TCG, and I was very sad to see it go. But one of the big problems with the Transformers TCG is that they never went in on organised play. So that means that there were an awful lot of people that were like, oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I'm not investing in cards if there's not going to be any tournaments. So people didn't invest in cards. And that led to one of... Now, don't get me wrong, I could do a 2-3 hour video on why the Transformers TCG failed, but and it basically all just boils down to Wizards of the Coast didn't take the game seriously enough, and one of the reasons was organised play, and that's not happening with Lorcana. And then just to expand back into my previous point, this is one way in which they're showing us they're taking the game seriously. There is a big, big difference between companies that take trading card games seriously when they launch them and companies that don't. And what Ravensburger are doing with Lorcana here is they are taking it seriously, and I cannot stress to you what a big thing this is. Because I'm going to be buying in on Lorcana regardless. But organised play is the difference between me buying a box of every set and a few singles to get a binder of all the cards, yay, and me buying multiple boxes, building up play sets, building multiple decks, playing regularly, etc., etc. I'm not bringing you a bunch of deck profile videos for a game that doesn't have organised play. But the fact that it is having organised play is a big deal. And this might just be a tweet buried in a reply where they showed us the back of the card, but this is actually a really, really big deal. And I, for one, am absolutely delighted. Now, they have actually gone and shown off, a couple of cards as well. But a lot of what this really does is raise more questions than it answers. So they showed us an Olaf card. And you might notice that this is not one of the cards I showed you earlier that was released at D23. This is a brand new card. We just don't know very much about it. Now, one thing which is extremely interesting, and some of you will have noticed this as soon as I put it up on the screen, Olaf is there as an ally. And you will notice that if we look at the 6 cards that were revealed before, they are all heroes and villains. Stitch, Elsa, and Robin Hood are heroes. Maleficent, Cruella de Vil, and Captain Hook are villains. Obviously, they're villains. That makes sense. The thing is, and Mickey Mouse was also put as a hero. We have not seen, prior to Olaf, any cards down as an ally. So what does this mean for the game moving forward? Is it a case like we see in something like One Piece, where you have a leader that's a hero or a villain, and then you make a deck of allies? Or are there just some cards are hero/villains, and some cards are allies? If you're asking me to guess, I'm guessing the latter. I don't think it's building around one leader. I would imagine it's more, there are heroes and villains and allies, but the way allies are treated in the game is different to how villains and heroes are treated. But the reality is we don't actually know, and I kind of love that. Now, Olaf is a vanilla card. You can see that it's got all of the figures you would expect. I'm assuming attack, defense, and cost. Let's go for that. But we don't actually know yet. So, it's vanilla. Are all allies vanilla? You're imagining probably not. But we don't actually know, and this just raises interesting questions. They also showed us Dragonfire, an action card. Whoa! What's an action card? We've never seen an action card before. That's a little bit new. And the answer is, it's a presumably 5-cost card that banishes a chosen character. Sounds fun. We don't really know what any of this means. It's clearly got Maleficent artwork, and if we take a quick look back at Maleficent, you can see you've got the skill Dragonfire. When you play this character, you may banish chosen opposing character. So I do really like the way that they are they're matching them together. The Maleficent action card and the Maleficent villain card kind of do the same thing. They're thematically aligned. And they should be, ladies and gentlemen. They absolutely should be thematically aligned. So I kind of love this as well. But, let's face it, there's clearly a lot more questions being raised here than answers being given. Now, obviously, in the not too distant future, they're going to release information about how the game works and gameplay and all of that. And if you actually go and have a look on Wassy Plays on this channel, if you look at the most popular videos on this channel, they tend to be learn to play videos. They tend to be rules videos. So I'm honestly genuinely looking forward to it. I mean, the top 3 videos on this channel are how to play One Piece, how to play Transformers, and how to play Digimon. See, I told you I love Transformers. So I'm kind of looking forward to being able to do another one of those. That's going to be fun. That's going to be exciting. But we're not there yet. And what we're basically being given is a bunch of information that's kind of sneaking out there. Hey, there's going to be organised play. We'll tell you more later. Hey, we got ally cards now. Don't worry, we'll tell you more about them later. Hey, have you noticed an action card? Don't worry, we'll tell you more about it later. Quite frankly, I'd like to know more about it now. The other thing they have shown us is, let's use Steel as an example. They did a series of tweets like this one. Use Steel Ink to summon Disney characters as glimmers. And then they showed us there's basically a bunch of different kind of inks. I'm not going to sit here and go through all of them. That would get a little bit repetitive. But there's clearly types. In the same way we've got colors in a card like One Piece or Digimon, we've got types of ink here. Are we going to be able to freely mix and match? I don't know. In Digimon, you can freely mix and match. In One Piece, you've got to stick to the color of your leader. So I don't know is the honest answer. But you can see from this image here, there are 6 different types of ink. And would you believe it? They just so happen to perfectly correspond to the set of 6 characters that was released as a promo set at D23. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, who could possibly have seen that coming? But we're still just waiting for a bit more information. I'm delighted. I want to make more Lorcana videos. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to make a lot more Lorcana videos. I can't right now. I'm not going to make videos for the sake of it. I'm going to bring you the news when there is news to bring you, which is what I'm doing today. We've got a few little nuggets of news that we can use to make a few predictions and have a discussion. We don't have enough to keep doing this. So I'm going to make a little bit of a pact. If anyone from Disney Lorcana is watching, you guys release more news, I'll make more videos. And hey, they are following me on Twitter now, so there's a chance they're watching. Please, sir, can I have some more news? For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about Lorcana. I want to know how excited you are. I want to know basically anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy. That's where we talk about a bunch of card games like now, Disney Lorcana. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.